What's good, y'all? Welcome back to another one. Let's get right into it.
They work with what for a reason. The frequencies were designed for certain reasons. Let's talk about the sun. The sun is 5.9642 gigahertz. Add those numbers up. What do you get? 26. 26 in gematria represents the divine. Then you go into water. Water is 100 terahertz. It represents, if you look at gematria, according to the Hebrew alphabet, 100, because we don't count the zeros. It's 1. 1 represents the oneness of the universe. Your body is 70% water. The planet is 70% water. You think it's a coincidence?
In the document, it says there were 666,666 pyramids before the Exodus, and today there are less than 100,000, which is known, by the way. There are many pyramids all over the place. But why the 666,666?
The number is 666. Represents the number 18. 18, according to Hebrew gematria, represents life. Earth's radiation is 7.83 hertz. Human beings, 7.83 hertz. Now if you take 7.83 and add the number up, you will get the number 18. As you know, the number 18, again, represents life. Every number has a frequency. Every number has certain energies.
That is true, bro.
Everything was
crazy,
designed
bro.
for a reason.
Strange, you know, how, like, some actually, disturb the body. It's crazy, bro. Crazy how stuff works, man. So I gotta really pay attention to it, everything, really.
A man attacked me on a bus and started eating me in front of horrified passengers.
What?
Imagine sitting quietly on a bus and suddenly a stranger sits right next to you, despite many empty seats.
I'm just
I've got some videos of portals opening in the sky all over the world, Booskies.
Okay. Dang. Yeah, it's popping. That's crazy. It's popping right there. That's two of them. Two of them. Dang.
Anything I find that's weird, strange, or interesting, I'm gonna show to you. Shabadoo, Booskies. Shabadoo. I've got some videos of portals opening in the
Come on, next one.
There's an entire
Next one.
civilization of people that have no idea about the outside world. There's this island called Sentinel Island. It's illegal to go there. The Indian Navy patrols 3 miles. You're not allowed to go past that. Whenever the British showed up, whenever they had control of India, they actually took 2 adults and 2 kids back to India. 2 adults died from disease because uncontacted tribe, they don't have like the same immune system. They eventually brought back the 2 kids, but you can kind of see that doesn't really give them a good view of outsiders. There's this kid from America, I think his name was John Allen Cho, who wanted to bring Christianity to these people. He actually hired, while it was illegal, these Indian fishermen to bring him close enough. So he actually had a canoe that he dropped down and tried to go there multiple times, but they kept on trying to attack him, go back to the boat. Eventually he went there and told the Indian fisher boat to leave, and he still has I think it's 13 pages that they're able to find him talking about how he's scared for his life, but how beautiful the sunset is, and he's scared that it's going to be the last sunset he'll ever see. There's an entire civilization of people that have no idea about
How much does the earth cost? I'm gonna buy the entire earth and be king.
I think this is
What would you do if you were the leader of the free world?
I'm gonna take the smartest people on the planet and make them work on mechanical bees. Everyone making negative comments. The bees go get them.
Like, what? I lost you there. Explain that. What do you mean by that?
I've envisioned and will manifest mechanical bees.
So my question is, what is wrong with you? Things you're saying are crazy.
Are you serving man? Or are you serving the one and only master?
Who?
Me. What can you give me? What can you do for me?
I think it's crazy. Have you always been this way? You should talk to a doctor about this.
How much does the earth cost?
That gotta be edited, man. I don't. That was edited, so for sure. That's crazy. She making all these facial expressions like she really a human being. That's crazy.
Have these people not watched any robot movie ever? Bro, now we're just counting days for a robot takeover.
Imagine, man, a robot takeover. Robots just start taking over the planet. Oh man. Is you ready for that? Like, dang. So we gotta kill a robot. Like, they not killing me. I'm not going. I'm not going either. So
Netflix,
they going at the door.
leave the world behind trying to tell us something. Check this out.
You must be Amanda.
Pay attention.
Why did you come here? In my line of work, you have to understand the patterns that govern the world.
Talking about the cabal.
The future.
Yo, have y'all seen that movie? Leave the World Behind? That was a crazy movie.
And in the bedroom.
I don't understand.
A lot of truth in that.
What do you mean?
Lights out.
The truth is much scarier. What is the truth?
Pay attention. What's going on here, America? The bedroom on the move.
Right?
Aren't you the one who always said, if you're not paranoid by now, it's too late?
Uh-oh. Y'all stack that food up.
On what's going on out there. We've all been deserted.
Oh, we. Come on. Big troll alert. Come on, leave them comments.
Did you know that Peppa Pig is based on a true and terrifying story? In the year 1952, a very poor family owned a lot of pigs. Their farm decided to carry out experiments with the pigs' DNA on themselves, especially on their youngest daughter. After some time, this was eventually discovered by a villager, and when the police arrested them for illegal activities and worse on their own child, they discovered that the girl was called Pepper and now looked like a horrible pig. They questioned the family to find out their motivation. The family responded with something terrifying. They said that the reason they had acted this way, it wasn't the lack of money, nor the difficulties of farm labor, nor any mental problem or urges, but simply the power to do what she wanted, to herself or to her child. A children's show, not so innocent, is it? That's not the only one. Look who's behind the window when they're all outside. Subscribe and share your thoughts in the comments. Did you know that Peppa Pig is based on a true and terrifying story?
Want to know a secret to quick manifestation? Being neutral. Instead of charging your manifestations with a bunch of emotions, try to be neutral about it. I've seen only some manifestation coaches teach this method, but majority, teach you to pump your emotions into your manifestations. But here is why keeping it neutral is actually an advantage. Think of it this way, the universe is an algorithm, right? And what I mean by algorithm, I mean the universe works through mathematics. Math is a universal language. Did you know that world governments, or the United Nations, I believe, has a whole freaking thick binder full of things that the world would need to do in case aliens land on planet Earth? And one of the first things is speak to them using math. Speak to the aliens using numbers, because it is a universal language. Everything can be calculated in numbers, so the universe is an algorithm. It's like a binary code. And what is a binary code? It's almost like a duality, right? When you step out of that dualism and you become neutral or singularity, which is basically 0 point, it's infinity, You get to harness the energy of infinity, right? You have a higher chance of getting what you want instead of just relying on probability. This is what synchronicities are as well. You know, when you see the bunch of repeating numbers, or you listen to a song and then somebody walks by you and they're listening to the same song, or so many coincidences, deja vus. Synchronicities is just you literally syncing up to the universal algorithm. You have beat the algorithm in a way. You have stepped out of the binary, you have become singularity. This is how you can manifest things so much quicker, by just being neutral. Now I know you guys are gonna ask, how am I supposed to be neutral about this? I really want this thing. Here are some tips and tricks for you to be in a neutral state. Well, first and foremost, a neutral state is actually the state of abundance. I know that sounds like the complete opposite, right? Neutral and abundance, huh? How are they the same? When you're in a neutral state, you're actually in the state of willing to receive. You're okay with things coming and going, right? A lot of
I don't know if y'all can hear it, but I can hear my chair in the background. I'm so glad I got a new one, man. It was so like loud. I don't think this will make that much noise as the other one did. But yeah, appreciate the support, y'all. So y'all keep showing the support, man. I'm gonna keep these videos coming.
You're afraid to let go of that 200K job in fear of you making less than 200K. But what if you make 500K because you let go of that job that no longer served you? Think about it. How do you think multimillionaires and billionaires become multimillionaires and billionaires? Especially the self-made ones, which are pretty rare. Whether they acknowledge it or not, they are actually in the neutral state. They're willing to receive the abundance and they're willing to let go if it fails or something happens, because, you know, life. And again, the universe is an algorithm. What does an algorithm
That's true, bro. You gotta be neutral. You can't expect everything to go your way all the time. Everything is not gonna go your way all the time. So you kind of just gotta live life like whatever happens, I accept it. You know what I'm saying? That's how you gotta be though. For you can't just expect everything to just go good all the time. It's not gonna be like that. So yeah, I
pumps
agree.
out algorithms. Shit just happens. So when you're at that 0 point singularity, you're telling the universe, I don't chase, I just accept. And I accept all kinds of abundance. Being at 0 point singularity means you cannot be afraid to lose. Because you know, through probability, through the algorithm, mathematics, whatever, there will always be chance for you to receive more. And a mantra that I always tell my customers to repeat is whenever they perceived a failure in their physical life, instead of panicking about it and feeling like, oh my God, no, this is why manifestation doesn't work. Tell yourself, every day is a new day. Every day is an abundance of opportunities.
Indeed.
Program your subconscious mind to think of that whenever you see failures, because that in itself is actually 0 points neutrality. You're not completely limiting yourself to other possibilities, which is always a good thing, because guess what? There is always an abundance of opportunities no matter where you are. You just have to be the one that takes them. If you want to learn more about the Matrix and how to break out of this Matrix, my book, Made in God's Image, is linked in my bio. I pretty much go into detail as to how this Matrix was even created, and yes, we are living in one, and you can blame it on Metatron's cube. Surprise, surprise, don't worship Metatron's cube.
He got kindness. Alright. Drop you a follow real quick. She definitely dropped some good tips on how to manifest. Y'all should use it.
This movie exposed the apocalypse, but this is where things get crazy, because it was directed by Barack and Michelle Obama. The movie implies that this is how the world is gonna end.
First stage was isolation. Disable their communication and transportation.
Yep.
Make the target as deaf, dumb, and paralyzed as possible. Setting them up for the second stage. Synchronized chaos. Terrorize them.
Bro, these movies be putting the truth right in our face, man. If you don't see it by now, you're never gonna wake up, to be honest. You're just gonna be a bot forever.
Overt attacks and misinformation. Overwhelming their defense capabilities, leaving their weapon systems vulnerable to extremists in their own military. Without a clear enemy or motive, people would start turning on each other.
That's good.
Done successfully, the third stage would happen on its own. What's the third stage?
Chaos.
A coup d'etat. Civil war.
If this happened today, do you
Chaos.
think you'd
A lot of
survive? Let me
chaos.
know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, share, and follow for more. This movie exposed the apocalypse.
Crazy, bro. They don't just be putting stuff in the movies for no reason, man. Exactly. Real stuff that's, about to happen.
Isn't it
Just
possible that we're living now in a simulated environment?
Prepared,
there
bro.
was a movie, of course, The Matrix, but gosh, it seems so possible from so many angles. Could it be?
Yeah, absolutely. One of the challenges I have in talking about this stuff, Art, is there are so many paths to go down, so I have to try to, stay focused on one direction. But I'll say up front that I think likely the sort of simulation idea is a little bit bigger than being in a computer simulation, and I'm sure we'll get to that. But speaking of the computer simulation idea, Nick Bostrom, who you've probably heard of, is a philosopher from Oxford. He posited back, actually, I think it was the same year that The Matrix came out, and The 13th Floor, and a couple other movies that talked about the same topic. He had this paper called The Simulation Argument, and in his paper, he presents three possibilities. Assuming that we get to the point where we create simulations that are indistinguishable from reality, and it's pretty clear that we're going to do that. I mean, we're already very close to that now with headsets and Oculus Rift and these kinds of things. Probably another 20, 30 years, maybe less, that we get something that's so indistinguishable from reality that while we're experiencing it, we're totally immersed and we think we're in a reality. So his argument goes like this: given that we're going to get to that point, and at that point we'll create millions of different simulations, what are the odds that we're 20 years prior to that versus in one of those millions? And therefore the answer is the odds are pretty small. So he said there's another possibility, which is we don't get there. And there's two possible reasons why we wouldn't get there. One, we destroy ourselves over the next 20 years before we reach that state, which he calls a post-human state.
That's looking increasingly possible, by the way.
And that's possible, certainly. And then the other option is that we just consciously decide not to pursue that, and I think that's kind of a non-starter. Like, when do we ever not pursue something that has some dangerous possibilities? We never don't do that. So, cloning, nuclear technology, nanotech, you name it, we always pursue it. So I think if you're an optimist, you almost have to say the odds are very good we're already living in a simulation. If you're a pessimist, you would have to say we're going to destroy ourselves before we get the chance to. That's how his argument goes. And it's kind of hard to find fault in that logic.
Maybe the end of the game is just to see whether we destroy ourselves or not. Maybe that's where game over. Want to play a game? So everything is so perfect, Jim. The sun is where it needs to be. The things we need on Earth are where they need them to be. We couldn't be here without if matter, dark matter, were any thicker and more abundant than it is, we couldn't exist. I mean, there's a million gazillion different things that have to be just perfect for this world to be working as it is. So, I mean, you can certainly posit that somebody put that together, and the game is on, as it were.
Right, and you've mentioned just a few of them, but even just the ability to have a reality, just the ability to have space, is incredibly improbable. Something like, I think there's one part in 10 to the 115th where the universal constant cancels out vacuum energy. It's a really incredible coincidence, and they say that the deviation in the expansion rate of the early universe of 1 part in a billion, either way, would render the universe void. It would either rip apart so fast that matter would not be able to form, or it would contract on itself and disappear. So, and there's dozens of these kinds of things, even before you get into the rare odds of creating life. So yeah, it does seem to be lined up exactly perfectly, which some people would say, okay, well, that's evidence of a creator of sorts. But then the scientific argument against that is the anthropic principle. It's a combination of the anthropic principle, which says that, of course, we're in something that's perfectly designed, because otherwise we wouldn't be here to observe it. But that implies that there must be, literally, and I know this isn't a word, zillions of other universes or other constructs out there in that sort of quantum mechanics, many worlds interpretation of quantum mechanics. There have to be, such an incredibly huge number of universes that don't have the right set of parameters to create matter and to create life, and we just happen to be in the one that isn't. And I don't know, to me that sounds like much more hand-waving than the idea that you have some large system that constantly improves on itself and fine-tunes itself over time, which is more the way I think the universe might have evolved.
Well, again, if you go back to the Matrix, isn't it possible that we're...
That is so dope how we are in a reality right now, right? There is definitely a creator. Of course, there is definitely a creator. If you don't believe it, then there is. But the way they say it in the Bible, I don't believe it that way. But there is a creator for sure, man. And I would say we are the creator of our own realities. That's how I feel. Let me know in the comments how you guys feel.
Living now
about that interesting. I like that. It should be, because it is your reality. But, yeah. All right,
what's going on here?
Wow.
We living in the last days. Revelations is here. Prepare yourselves. The old world is ending and a new earth is forming.
Indeed.
Are you ready for the shift?
Indeed. How is it that much blood though? That's blood. Is this stuff dying in the ocean? See?
Come on, big troll alert. Come on, leave them comments. Ramu can't make this up.
We just found out how to build a pyramid. Turns out the pyramid deniers were right this entire time, and it is possible to build pyramids today. Let me show you how it's done. First, we obviously gotta prep our stone blocks using high-powered 20th century machinery. Let's load it up in this truck right here. Oh, well, that didn't really work. Let's try again over here. Oh, whoops. You weren't supposed to see that. This modern crane right here should do the trick.
Nope.
Yeah, maybe not. Turns out even modern technology struggles to lift these megalithic stones, and the ones we saw here weren't even more than like 20 tons. Here we have an industrial grade crane barely lifting a 30-ton rock just a few feet off the ground. Yet the ceiling stones of the King's Chamber and the Great Pyramid of Giza were around 80 tons each, lifted over 50 meters off the ground over 4,000 years ago, all with allegedly more primitive technology. Not sure how they did that. Obviously, it's totally possible to lift these stones with modern technology. It's just not always easy. And again, we're talking modern technology made in the past 100.
See, so if they don't have the technology today, what was we using back then? Has to be superpowers now. We was way more advanced, indeed.
Years. The fact that we're even questioning the technological possibility of building stone block pyramids with the advanced cranes and trucks of today is impressive on its own. And we haven't done it yet, so we don't even have hard proof that we actually can. Oh wait, yeah, I forgot, we did build one. Actually, we built a lot. And of course we did. Pyramid-shaped structures are very possible to build using modern materials and methods such as pouring concrete or putting together intentionally manufactured smaller pieces of glass and metal in order to form bigger parts, which we piece together and is how impressive feats of architecture like the Burj Khalifa are possible. But it's when you use singular stone blocks weighing up to 80 tons from hundreds of kilometers away, even smaller 2-ton blocks of sheer raw stone using no machinery, is when things get questionable and the process even becomes more impressive than the end result. Here's a 1-ton block of stone versus a truck. Yeah, wow. That shit is heavy. So instead of completely shutting down speculation on how these impressive structures were made, maybe we should be asking ourselves, what lost technology did our ancient ancestors have? We just found out how to build a pyramid. It turns out the pyramid deniers were right this entire time.
I wonder what technology we had. Was it us, our physical body that did it? Or we just had super advanced technology? but we in the future, right? Shouldn't we have more advanced technology now? Make you question,
Tell them, Zell.
you know?
Let them know, man.
Just saying, man.
The
Just
cause
question
of
it.
King's Mom's death got turned into a game mode on Fortnite, cuz. What
Asking
you
questions for a
mean?
friend.
Oh, Block Zone Wars, cuz.
Bomb on Fortnite, bruh. You gotta be kidding me, bruh. Talking about O Block Zone Wars. They wild, bruh. Hey, bruh.
They really did that.
I cannot believe this, TikTok.
I hope they
I
took that
cannot
out.
believe this, bruh. And then on the game mode, what it say? They got something. It say Slide for Vaughn. Chapter. What the Easter egg, bruh? They wild. Talking about Slide for Vaughn, bruh. They wild on Fortnite. I thought this was a kid game. What happened? What happened? What happened?
Fortnite is making a mockery of this man's passing. Like, talking about some Slide for Vaughn.
Yeah,
I think
that's not even
so
funny. That's not funny.
desensitized. So
That's
you
messed
telling me
up.
somebody lost their son, somebody lost their
No,
best
wasn't
friend.
playing
That's
with the
so
dad.
disrespectful. Fortnite, you don't get no cool points from this. What you mean? The cause of King's Von?
It's like when people say Illuminati. Say their names.
Right.
Say the name. It was one time where SO was on here and he said, yo, it's these many families. I wanted to jump into the screen and be like, no, SO, it's a lot of families. I grew up in Delaware. The DuPonts run Wilmington. That's not DuPont Hospital. Is it? We know the name. Say the name. Because what it does, when you say these things, it makes a boogeyman for our children.
Right.
They can't fight the Illuminati.
Or the imaginary base.
No, but you allow them. It's like when people say Illuminati. Say their names. Right.
I told you guys 3 months ago
Call him out.
that Barack
him
Obama
out.
was going to put out this movie about the apocalypse and we needed to watch it. Literally, the people who were making this movie for Barack Obama said that all of his notations and the way that he wanted this film to be done scared the shit out of them because it felt so real. And Barack Obama came out himself and said he's adding stuff that he learned while being president to make this a real apocalypse seeming movie. If you are a conspiracy theorist or one of the woke people, you will know that this movie is a warning. It's not just for shits and giggles. Barack Obama has showed us exactly what the apocalypse looks like. And contrary to belief,
This is how we know something is coming too. With a president, our old president, to come out with a movie like that, that's how you know something is coming.
it ain't zombies and it ain't meteor showers. This movie literally talks about war. Over the entire movie, the people who sound the craziest end up being right. The people that you see throughout the movie saying, oh, this is war, this is attack from Koreans, this is for outside job, this ain't no end of the world, this is someone doing this for war, ended up being right. If you haven't seen the movie, there are a couple spoilers, but I am talking about Leave the World Behind on Netflix. It is centered around two families experiencing the apocalypse together. One family owns the home and the other family was in this home and it was being used as an Airbnb, but for whatever reason, the owner comes back and says he knew to come back because of his higher end clients. He then goes on to talk about how someone in a higher up, he can't say their name, was laughing and joking with him, and he looked him dead in the face and said, I wish you could come with me. Lo and behold, this higher up doesn't explain what he means, and then another friend speaks to the same person to move around his money, and he makes a joke. He says this man who is a higher up and well known in the business world and has something to do with defense communication looks him straight in the face and says, oh, you know, I'm just going to my annual meeting with the rest of the evil cabal that runs the world, and says that he wished that he could take this guy with him. So apparently the day before this apocalypse started, he spoke to one of his friends, and another one of his friends says that he's going away, and he makes the same joke that the other man made, saying, oh, what are you going to this evil cabal with the rest of the world? I thought that was only during the winter solstice. And he said that friend didn't even laugh. He told him take care of himself and hung up the phone. If you know anything about the winter solstice is also known as Yule, which is what Christmas was stolen from because it's a pagan holiday. But that's another story for another thing. And then there are these planes that come flying across the town and they drop these red papers. And no one knows what the red papers say because they are written in Arabic, and the son sees one of the papers and says, I know this says death to America. So now everybody's freaking out because they start hearing these noises as well, these high-pitched noises, and the son's teeth begin to fall out. And they go to a neighbor's house to try to get help, and the neighbor's like staring them down, trying to fight. They have guns at each other because he won't give him medicine, and the neighbor's going on about, oh yeah, this is an outside job, this is terrorism, da-da-da-da-da. It could be the radiation from the noises you've been hearing that are causing his teeth to fall out. And as you're watching this, you're like, this sounds crazy. You guys, the apocalypse isn't zombies. The apocalypse isn't even disease, really. You know what this movie says the apocalypse is? Someone infiltrating the central government and literally taking America down just by taking out our Wi-Fi and cell phone and TV communication.
Yep, and using frequency.
After that is when we turn on each other and it becomes a civil war.
Yeah.
Yeah. Obama, you told me I know what's going on.
Yeah, Obama is an evil person. I'm not gonna lie. And I think Obama more evil than we think, man. He might be a reptile. Just saying, he might be a reptile. I'm gonna just throw that out there. He just might. And, you know, they could just be putting that movie out just to put out propaganda to make people act like that, you know. Tight junk. But there's always some truth in the movie, for sure.
Land in the Gulf of Mexico. I noticed there's something out in the distance.
They want us to kill each other. That's what they want. So they can keep the planet. They can make everybody robots. That chips in them, all that, man. That's what they want.
It looked like a dark band.
Complete control.
As we approached it, the dark band became a donut. I saw this donut that was black in the center. What the heck is that? And so as we get closer and closer to it, I noticed that the black band had what appeared to be kind of steam over it. And then I looked, and there was water lapping against the shoreline. This band was a ring of mussels. And inside the ring of mussels was a lake. And it's like, wait a minute, I'm already underwater.
Bro, what am I looking at?
Over the water,
the ocean?
In this lake, and tried to descend in it, and bounced
the
off.
Ocean is a strange place. I'm not gonna lie. The ocean is strange, man. Richie might say.
And as we bounced off, we said,
it's almost like the ocean is its own universe. Right? It's a whole nother universe down there that we haven't even discovered yet. Crazy.
Getting back to the shoreline. It was insane. I've never seen anything like it.
Oh, he passed away? Oh, yeah, they crashed his helicopter, huh? He disappears after firing the bottom of the fireman. So they killed him for speaking the truth? No, they definitely killed my boy for speaking the truth. That's messed up, man. Dang. It's messed up how they do you down here when you get to talking the truth. Wow. Yeah, they got my boy out of there, huh? That's messed up.
Planet was in the Gulf of Mexico. I noticed there's something out in the distance.
I be reading these comments, bro. They be talking in these comments. I'm trying to see what they be saying.
And just like that, I wasn't chasing my dreams anymore.
My dreams was chasing.
Were chasing me.
Right. I like that. I like
and
that.
Just like that.
Just like that. That's far.
I wasn't chasing my dreams anymore.
My dreams was chasing me.
Were chasing me.
That's hard. I mess with that. Yeah.
If you ever wonder why people are stealing catalytic converters, it's because of this little thing right here. It looks like a wasp nest, but it goes for $11,000 per ounce. So inside your catalytic converter, there is a catalyst. It looks like a honeycomb. But inside there is precious metals like platinum, palladium, and rhodium. Specifically, rhodium goes for like $12,000 an ounce. So the same cost of a box Chevy is just hiding inside your catalytic converter. Now, there's not a full ounce there, it's a couple grams, but it adds up to a couple $100, and essentially it's worthwhile for a thief to sawzall it off of your vehicle at 3 a.m. Now, there's 3 ways you can protect yourself from this kind of theft. First thing you can do is slam the vehicle to the ground, literally just lay in frame. Secondly, you can straight pipe the vehicle and get rid of the cats before a thief does. And the third thing is create a chastity belt under your vehicle to protect your cat. Welcome to my TED Talk. If you ever wonder why people are stealing catalytic converters...
So it's worth that much? Wow. You're getting the full price there, but dang, okay. This is a rerun, y'all. Y'all haven't noticed by now. This is a rerun.
Green line test. This is like a scientifically proven test that they can predict or at least estimate who really holds the power in the relationship. Okay. So you know how there's either like the boss man or the boss lady? Yeah. Right? The green line test is you're supposed to draw 2 lines going up and down facing their direction. Yeah. So you can see Prince Harry here. He's a little bit on a slant and Meghan Markle is straight. So the green line test says the person that's straight, that has their own solid base, is the person that holds the power in the relationship. So Will Smith and Jada, this is obvious.
Yeah, for sure. Will is a sim.
So Will, you can see it's a huge, a huge line that's going into her direction, and Jada's completely straight. Okay. Right? So that's a obvious one. Yeah. Now look, Kim Kardashian and Pete. Okay. This is an easy one too. Okay, yeah. You can see Kim straight, Pete on an angle. There could be a neutral. Now this is where it gets crazy, right? Okay. Who did Jada cheat with?
Notes when we were done filming in the post-production. See, well, imagine him in the editing room. Now, if you knocked on the door, I would hide. It's his Airbnb. It's his Airbnb. He can do what he wants. He's allowed to live there. It's his house. President Barack Obama and Michelle Obama are
just look
producers on
at the name of the movie, Leave the World Behind. What are they trying to tell us right there? They're not just making these movies just to make them, y'all. Come on, man. Leave the world behind. Like, what? What are you trying to say, bro? Sure. I'm not. You should be looking at the you know, y'all ever just see y'all ever just look at the clouds and see faces in the clouds? That'd be crazy, right? Like a whole spirit in the clouds, asking for hope or something. What am I looking at? Okay.
Yo, what's up, y'all? Spiritual Melly. Today we're talking about the signs of a narcissist. Part 1. You know you're dealing with a narcissist if you make one mistake and they act like you made a million mistakes in a row. The reason why they're so hard on you is because they're hard on themselves. How can somebody give somebody else the benefit of the doubt if they don't do that with themselves? If they don't love themselves? If their ego's in the way? Because you'll notice that a narcissist, they'll always point the finger. They'll always direct the negative energy towards you and try to make it seem like you're the one that's making the mistake every time. And they'll try to make it seem like you're the problem and they're the one that's doing everything right. But you notice the moment that you flip that around and you tell them what they're doing wrong, they don't know how to take it. The same constructive criticism that they give you, they don't know how to take it when it's the other way around. And then they love to play victim, like the world is always coming down on them, like nobody want to hear them, when that's not the case at all. So in my opinion, the best way to win against somebody who's a narcissist is to just be quiet and make them argue with themselves. Don't go back and forth. When you feed into the bullshit, that's when they start to lower your vibration and you start to stoop down to their level. And that's what they want. If you ever come across somebody who's angry, you'll notice that they always want somebody to go back and forth with. You notice if the other person is quiet and they're not saying too much, now they don't have nobody to go back and forth with. They don't have nobody to feed off of. And you'll notice after all of that goes down, they'll try to come back and talk to you or ask you, can you do something for them? You know, like nothing happened. No, bitch. I remember. Fuck you to the 5th power.
That's real.
So you're dealing with people
they
like
do
this.
doing that.
Don't take it personal. Just realize that it's a projection of how they feel about themselves on the inside. Spiritual Melly. Yo, what's up, y'all? Spiritual Melly. Today we're talking about this.
Your brain produces approximately 70,000 thoughts per day, which is around 2,900 thoughts per hour. It could also store up to 2.5 petabytes of information, which is equivalent to around 3 million hours of TV shows or 1 million high-resolution photos. The brain can generate up to 23 watts of energy, enough to power a light bulb. Despite making up only 2% of your body weight, the brain consumes around 20% of the body's energy. The brain contains approximately approximately 100,000 miles of blood vessels, which supply it with nutrients and oxygen. Each neuron can have up to 10,000 connections to other neurons, resulting in as many as 1,000 trillion connections in the brain. The brain contains around 100 billion neurons and weighs approximately 3 pounds. The amygdala, which is the part of the brain responsible for emotions, can process information in just 20 milliseconds, which is faster than the time it takes for us to consciously perceive something. Your brain produces approximately 70,000 thoughts per day.
70,000 thoughts per day. And most of the thoughts just be, on repeat. That's crazy. That is true. Most of the thoughts do be on repeat. Keep having the same. That's crazy. That's a lot of thoughts though. One day. Like you can't even count that. That's crazy.
Should never go swimming with a kangaroo. One of the kangaroo's biggest ops are dingoes, and dingoes often hunt by chasing their prey into ditches or towards other members of the pack. It's like their version of catching you in an alley. Some dingoes in Central Australia will even chase kangaroos into fences where the dingoes know they can't escape. So whenever a kangaroo is being pressed by a predator, they'll instinctively head to the nearest body of water and then go in where it's deep enough for their arms to be underwater. I call this the around and find out. If the dingo follows it, then the kangaroo will take its arms and force it underwater until it gives up or gives out. And since they've had years of practice, kangaroos are really good at it. The problem is the generational trauma of being constantly hunted by dingoes means kangaroos are born racist towards anything that even looks like a dog. Which is why kangaroos will attempt to reverse baptize any dogs that mess around and get too close. If you go in trying to be a hero, they'll happily take the 2 for 1. That's of course assuming it doesn't just kick the soul out you first. Now a lot of prey animals will run towards water to avoid problems, but this kangaroo is the problem. This isn't an invitation, it's an offer to get Uber to your ancestors. Around and find out. Okay, so here's why you and your dog should never go swimming with a kangaroo.
Oh nah. We had to knock him out real quick. I'm not gonna lie, but we ain't be right there doing that, dude. No, that's real. We gonna have to knock him out. Cause why? He's just right there.
Someone on Instagram really said I couldn't ruin kangaroos, so here's kangaroo facts, but they quickly get disturbing. This was not a joke. Kangaroos will lead predators or humans to water and then force them underwater until they drown. And because the kangaroo's biggest enemy is the dingo, they're dog racist and they will attack them just for breathing. They have another way to defend themselves, which involves holding you with their forepaws and then literally disemboweling you by kicking you with their claws. Once again, if a dog is alive, they take it very personal. One wildlife worker got kicked so hard it broke her ribs and punctured her lung. It is a really bad idea to feed kangaroos because the ones grass-eating marsupials will expect and demand food from you, and if you're empty-handed, they'll be disappointed. Disappointing an animal that looks like this is bad for your health. You know that thing that guys have one of and that different thing that girls also have one of? Yeah, female kangaroos have 3 and males have 2 heads. I believe double-pronged is the expression. Only the alpha male kangaroo is allowed to mate, meaning the weaker males have to get creative. And no, this picture is not as wholesome as you think. It's violating Miss Piggy. It caused 90% of animal-related car accidents in Australia. Weaker males cough to admit inferiority, so if this roid rabbit presses you and you don't cough, you'll be coughing up a lung. Someone on Instagram really said I couldn't ruin kangaroos, so here's kangaroo fact.
No. God, dude. Nigga stick and knock his ass out, man. No, not going.
Go hug a tree if you want to feel good. That's not nonsense. A tree roots go deep into the ground.
That is true.
They're
when we're connected to nature.
They're spread out. The branches,
even when you don't want
the
to
roots, and the energy that comes up through the tree. When you hug a tree, you become part of that energy. And people say, "Well, I didn't feel a thing." Well, yeah, I understand that. But look where you're coming from. How many trees have you hugged? And would you hug a tree if somebody watched you hugging a tree? Would you feel comfortable enough to still do it? You see, there's things you have to do to overcome. Go hug a tree if you want.
That's true. Some people probably wouldn't even do that because they're gonna be showing love to the tree. No, that's true though. It's like some people probably feel weird going up to there and hugging a tree, man. There's nothing wrong with hugging a tree. Tree needs love too, man. So what's wrong with hugging a tree? Nothing. I might start doing like that. You feel me? They worried about what they about to eat.
So why'd you dye your hair purple? Is the GTA shit?
Yeah, I'm trying to.
Don't take me serious.
Trying to milk it more. I know what I'm doing strategy wise.
That's smart, bro. That's smart. Wait, how old are you?
35 years old.
Oh, nice.
And I might shoot a music video tomorrow, but I'm trying to direct it
You not forgiving people is showing that you're not evolving as a person. The more that you mature, the more that your mind expands, is the more that you become understanding of other people's actions. That's why you tend to naturally forgive people as time go past, because you're naturally growing as a person. So you don't hold on to certain grudges that your old self will hold on to, because you see life from a more understanding perspective. You don't take what this person did so personal no more. You're able to forgive them. You don't have to be friends with them, but you're able to forgive them easier. That will make you a more peaceful, happier person. You don't have no negative energy that you holding on to. So if you have a hard time forgiving people, that means you're not growing, because you can't see past what your old self has saw. You don't see no lessons or no bigger pictures out of nothing. But I love y'all. You not
That's real. That's real right there. I'm not gonna lie. Let's see this. This is copyright. I know it is. It's already here. We go. Here we go, y'all. All right, get ready to see boogers and all type of nasty and stuff. I do like boogers.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna
what is
lie.
that?
Snot? What is that, man?
Like,
little dried boogers? What am I looking at? Ugh. Yikes.
oh, that's nasty.
That's some snot. Ugh. I'm not gonna lie, bro. When you look at it from that point, it make you don't want to eat it. Like, right? Who eating that anyway? Who's eating that octopus? Octopus, man. Octopus.
Okay. He was a experienced stuntman. What he would do is he would
why do they be doing stuff like this?
towers,
That
these
stuff
light
like
posts,
this is
these
so
electricity towers,
so
buildings,
dangerous.
whatever, and he would do pull-ups
Like
off the
that.
side the buildings, bro.
Is he like a stuntman for movies and stuff, or just a stuntman just for himself?
Why?
He would post
Why
videos
you gotta
on
do
social
this?
media and stuff, and he had over 300
Why you gotta
videos
be?
doing
Why you
it.
trying to be so
he
cool,
was
man?
experienced, right? And then his last ever stunt was in China, which is his hometown, right? He needed money because he was gonna like propose to his girlfriend. And then his mom ended up getting sick as well, and he got offered $15,000 to do this one stunt. So he went to the building. It was 62 stories high.
My hands are already getting sweaty, bro.
You could see him in the video. I'm gonna show you the video right now. In the beginning of the video, he starts wiping down the area. He's trying to make sure that everything is good. But
yeah, I remember seeing this video, bro.
2 pull-ups, and then the third one, he starts looking down.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Bro.
Yeah.
That's
so sad. I remember seeing that video.
That's
Look at my hands.
He was only 26 years old. But
Me personally, I don't really get like the whole parkour like on the high buildings. I'll be seeing videos of people doing that stuff. I'm like, yo,
they're
why?
bugging, right?
They can have that, man.
This guy, his name was Wu.
Okay.
Yeah, that is crazy. That is definitely like a why are you doing that? I know it helps you go viral and stuff like that, but dude, that's your life you playing with. You playing with your life right there. Man, that is woo-wee, man. They can have that one.
Stuntman. What he would do is he would climb on top of these big ass.
They just
This
be
movie felt like a warning. I'm so glad one of y'all said this. This movie felt like a warning because it was a warning. But at the same time, don't get it twisted. Keep this in mind, please. They're pushing a narrative, and we create the narrative for them. So yes, this is a possibility of what could happen. And yes, there is a high possibility of this happening. But at the same time, if something like this does happen, don't refer back to this movie and be like, oh, they made a movie about this. I know exactly what I need to do. No, because that'll be the trap. Instead, go with your inner instincts, not fear, and not this movie itself or within this paradigm. Another thing is that Barack Obama was a part of this movie script. It says here, Barack and Michelle Obama produced Netflix's Leave the World Behind and helped with the script. It says here, Barack Obama was especially invested in the film, providing valuable and detailed notes on the script. Esmail revealed that he would ask the former president for advice when penning the original drafts, as it helped him root the story in reality. Me personally, I kind of think it's weird that a former president helped out with a movie that's kind of foreshadowing the future.
Strange.
So to say that there is definitely some truth in that movie. If a former president is helping you write the script, definitely some truth in that movie. But at the same time, I have to say this. They push a narrative and we create it for them. So if something like this does happen, don't think back to this movie and be like, I know exactly what I need to do. That's all I'm trying to say. Like, don't do that. because I know I've made videos about this movie, and I don't want people getting the wrong idea, especially if I can articulate myself in a way that is beneficial and understandable. So yes, they made a movie about this. Yes, there is a little bit of possibility of this happening. Just be aware. But at the same time, they push narratives and we create the reality. Our experience and minds literally create this outside reality. So when they make movie of things like this, don't project or live in fear, because that's you literally creating that reality. I just had to say that and make that crystal clear. Now, besides that,
I used to hate white people when I was younger, because growing up in the South, every old nigga that I talked to instilled into my brain, boy, you better not trust them goddamn white folks, right? The white man is evil, the white man is the devil. You know, they used to hang us from trees and they enslaved us. And when you hearing this as a child, it definitely impacts you on the subconscious level. And see, I don't really fault a lot of the older generation, because they actually experienced a lot of things that I never experienced. So growing up, these thoughts are put into your head, and then you go to school and it's 2 movies that they make sure you see. They make sure you see Roots, and they make sure you see the Dr. King movie. So now it's reinforcing this narrative that all white people are evil, all white people are bad. But even more importantly, it's also instilling a victim mentality within your consciousness. So now anytime something bad happens, you can blame white people, you can blame the system, and it's really putting you into a powerless position. And I didn't realize when I was younger, but I was being force-fed these narratives that may have been true for other people, but it wasn't necessarily true for me, because honestly, I lived in like a 98% black neighborhood. So I didn't even see white people. But because I'm being programmed, anytime I would see one, I automatically have a certain level of hostility towards them based on, I used to hate white people when I was young.
Nope, this is not fake, and the moon is drifting away from Earth, causing life as we know it to be completely unlivable. People were terrified as NASA just announced a rare discovery that the moon is drifting away from Earth and could be gone, causing every single thing about Earth to completely change. And it has already moved 60,000 kilometers. With reports of how dangerous this could be for Earth, as the moon is responsible for seasons and the gravitational pull. Without the moon, the Earth would wobble and move towards other planets, making the season so extreme that it would no longer be livable for any human being during that time. It's reported that humans would also see changes to the ocean, with extreme tidal waves and the warmth and cold currents of the ocean to cease to exist, resulting in terrifying large numbers of aquatic animals to die. But that's not all. The 24-hour day will no longer exist, and daytime may keep extending longer and longer. Fortunately, the 60,000 kilometers is in the time span of 2.46 billion years, and it would likely be 2 billion years more before this would cause any worry. But also around that time, the sun might explode. Nope, this is not fake, and the moon is drifting away from Earth, causing life as we know.
The sun explode then. Don't that mean we get superpowers? Just saying. Because it ain't gonna kill everybody. It's true, man. Come on, it's true. The sun kill us. It's not gonna kill everybody. Exactly. Come on, man.
Look at my dog.
Yo, them kangaroos act too much like human beings. No way you getting beat up by, come on, a kangaroo, dude. A kangaroo. They might be strong, though. You better, like... Bruh. That is too funny, man.
Look at my dog.
That's crazy, man. I ain't gonna lie, man.
Truth be told, with a little bit of lies, understand that the firmament is a cover-up and a frequency that we volunteered our parents to bring us into, helping us understand that before we even came into this world, before we came into this illusion, we made a promise not only to ourselves but to God, helping and our true parents. So understand, your parents that you see every day are not your real parents. No offense to our parents out there, but understand, we are a bunch of parents raising parents. We are a bunch of parents loving on ourselves. Your parents are a reflection of you. That's why a lot of you out there, you feel like you are
basically the mother and your father of your own mother and father. How is that possible? You know what I'm saying? So what is a parent? What is a kid? We are literally mature kids trying to be mature in a world full of kids. It makes no sense. And they understood that in the beginning of our book, you know what I'm saying, with the Bible, Genesis, whatever you want to call it, they understood that this is going to divide the waters above and below us. But it's like, understand, we are living inside of a celestial body. So let's go ahead and get deeper into that. Understand, if we were to ask what's outside of space, what is outside of our firmament that we are stuck in, it's nothing but you. You create the firmament that you live in. The firmament is basically a prison. So every day you wake up, how will you paint your life? How will you go out into society and paint your picture before you escape this life? Because understand, we are literally stuck in our solar plexus. We are still stuck in the lowest part of our mind. Basically, we are stuck in the balance of heaven and hell. That's why we voluntarily came back to save our parents. Not only our parents, but ourselves. Because our parents were literally here before we even came here. That's why you were born. Your parents came here, so they volunteered to come here to save their parents. So you see how generational curses keep working? We literally got placed into a curse that we placed ourselves in. So we can blame everybody else, but see, we had no accountability for ourselves because we had a choice before we came here. We sat there and we told ourselves, you know what? I see what's going on down here. Mind you, people see life in first person. If you see life in the third person, meaning on a higher perspective, you can literally, we were watching our parents, watching everybody else's parents too. We were looking like, damn.
That is true. We do see life in first person. That's crazy. Like, we're in this physical body. We see it from the first person. Imagine look at it from a third person point of view. You see us, how we living right now. Like, dang, I don't want to go down there. They suffering. But some people come to see it from a third person, like, dang, they suffering. I think I can help them out. You know what I'm saying? So some people like, all right, I must go down here. And then some people just be like, they have fun down there. I'm trying to get down there and have some fun too. Be like that. Some souls just want to come down here, have fun. Some just want to come here and hope. And just what that soul want to do, you know?
They really going through segregation. They're going through slavery. They're going through, or they're working, not knowing that we're getting invaded by invaders who claim to be humans, not knowing we're working for invaders. On top of that, we are the invaders. So too, we don't have no accountability for ourselves nor our history, not knowing that we are all placed in this firmament because of our own prison. We came here because of our karma, and we don't know our own karma because we are stuck in our ways. We are too close-minded within our ways. We have to open our mind to an open-minded way to help us escape our closed-minded ways, our ego. Got us stuck here. We were not meant to stay on earth. We were meant to come here for the one time and go right back to our spiritual journey. But we've been stuck here for numerous years, and now they place a timeline on our ass. 2023. Like for part 2. Truth be told, with a little bit of lies, understand
some
that the
people
firmament
don't
is
even have the comprehension to even think outside the box like that. Yeah, that is true. They're too worried about other stuff. I'll get it though.
One program in particular that terrified my client the most. A simple 3.
¿Por qué es el más importante? El número
5 things I've learned now that I've come to Ireland. 5. Number 1.
Hold on. I'll be right back.
Get on a plane right now and come to Dublin. I've never been loved and cared about like this in my entire life. The way people love and like you here rivals the way my mama cared about me. Soon as I got off the plane, hey Josh, how you doing? People that didn't even know me spoke, made sure I was okay. Somebody asked was my health okay. Somebody asked was my cholesterol, what my cholesterol was like. People here are so kind. Now I know what people gonna say. What part of Ireland was he in? People aren't that kind. People, no. Everything was nice. Everybody was so complimenting. Everybody was so friendly. And everybody was so inviting. I got invited to 147 houses for dinner, brunch, and them little muffins with the salami on top. I don't want to leave because they have huge hearts here. Huge hearts.
Why is he crying, man? Nah. Bro. Is Ireland that good, man? He's crying, bro. Like,
but
what?
Ireland is
Alright, we're gonna have to check out Ireland.
Now, I don't know where you from, I don't know what you seen, but this thing is the most beautiful. I've never seen leaves this green. I've never seen buildings this red. I've never seen flowers this beautiful. Everything is absolutely gorgeous in Ireland, bruh. I flushed the toilet and I had to stop and stare at the water go down because I was like, I've never seen water go down a toilet bowl like this. The women are gorgeous and they have no clue how beautiful they are. They show way too much humility. Bruh, if you want a sight for sore eyes, if you want permanent eye candy, get on a plane and come to Ireland. Tourism of Ireland, y'all hook me up. Number 3, prepare to have the best food of your life. Now, I am from a place where beef and chicken is cooked the absolute best. America, we hold it down when it comes to food. I've never eaten a piece of beef that you can cut with the back of a spoon. Bruh, their water tastes like air. When I say tastes like air, it just makes you want to and let me tell y'all something. Irish people got this stuff called strawberry jam. I don't know where it come from. I don't know what they do to their strawberry jam. I don't know what they do to their jam. But you can eat this jam on everything. You put this jam on bread. You put this jam on meat. You can put this jam on your body if you want to have a baby tomorrow. Their jam is so good. I can't stop eating this bread with the salami with the jam on the side. I put the bread and the salami together. I dip it in the jam and I eat. They got some good jam. Number 4, Irish sports is not a game, it's a rite of passage. Now, while in some countries, most kids grow up, I want to be a doctor, I want to be a lawyer. Nah, over here, the little boys want to play hurling, the little girls want to play camogie, the little boys want to play Gaelic football, the little girls want to play Gaelic football. When you grow up in Ireland, they are dead serious about their sports, and they good at it too. I met a little 9-year-old Irish girl named Ava. Freckles, red hair. She was the toughest little cookie I've ever seen. If I had to get into a bar fight at any pub with anybody, I'm going to Ava's house. Hey, Mr. Ava Daddy, I need your daughter to come with me because I know she gonna have my back. The people in Ireland are so passionate about their sports, and you got to play. If you don't play, you probably can't get married. And number 5, although respectful, people in Ireland are dead set about where they from. I know when I grew up, you gotta represent where you from. I never thought outside of America people could act like us. Bruh, Dublin, the blue, love the blue. Kerry, up the kingdom, they love Kingdom. Tipperary, Clondalkin, they love where they from. If you come here, you better understand that where you from is very important. And where you from gonna win whatever y'all do. Kerry wasn't supposed to have a chance in the Gaelic Football All-Ireland Finals. They showed up and showed out. Hill 16 was going on. And then you got people over there saying, Josh, how did you get a ticket to the best game? Because it's like getting a golden ticket to challenge the Chocolate Factory. I say because I'm representing the Dubs. Dubs up. But then the Kerry people looked at me and said, what you mean? I said Kingdom up. Then the Dublin people looked at me and I said Ireland up. And then they came down. Ireland is a field of dreams. When the Lord made the earth, he put his hand on Hawaii. I'm gonna keep the pot of jumping in the West Coast. Then he put his other hand.
The dude look nice when he's up though, I'm not gonna lie. The dude.
What's the definition of a vampire, and do they still exist today? A vampire is a creature, often fanged, that preys upon humans, generally by consuming their blood. Is it just me, or does this sound a little familiar? Adrenochrome. Also, we know that vampires can't die. They live forever, right? It makes you think. Is it just a coincidence these celebrities have exact lookalikes from decades ago? Yeah, clones. This video is for entertainment purposes only. I have no facts to back what I'm about to say up at all. It's all fiction. Let's get into it. Now, I'm not saying people can't look alike because, obvi, they can. But this alike? Like, who is this? You were an ugly motherfucker back then, and you still are. Anyone know who this is? This one looks a little too close for comfort. Keanu, really? And another one. This Michael one, eerie. We just couldn't leave Jimmy out, could we? Not Orlando. And it's not like just some of these celebrities have doppelgangers, or all of them do. I don't believe in coincidences, so these days, real life is stranger than fiction. What do you think? Tell me what you guys think in the comments. What's the definition of a vampire?
Make you think though, because what if they time travelers? Just saying. Just saying. Or they could be clones. You know? Make you question. It's crazy though.
Here are the 2024 horse.
Rap concerts get crazy as one fan ran past security just to get on stage with Drake. Trying to get a handshake with Drake, Drake would shove the fan away and begin screaming.
There were cults where ritual murders followed by eating.
Now, this is scary. There is a theory that Jay-Z is actually a time traveler. This might not be true, but did you see the picture? There is also other evidence, though. So look, it's a Simpsons t-shirt where he's sitting on the thing. So 20 years later, he's doing the same thing that the t-shirt is doing. So everyone like, oh yeah, people can read. He probably just recreated the video, which is valid evidence. But everyone knows about, I think in Harlem, there was a picture of Jay-Z, a guy that looked exactly like Jay-Z. Does this guy not look like Jay-Z to you? That picture was taken in like Harlem in like 1980s. And like it makes sense though, because like if you had a chance to go back in time and tell your younger self how to make riches, would you do it? And look at Jay-Z, he's one of the richest guys in the world. What's also crazy too is Jay-Z became famous, or like he just started rapping in his late 30s. That's crazy. Why would you start your rap career so late if you didn't know it was going to do well already? That's why I think he's a time traveler. Now, this is scary. There is a theory that Jay-Z is actually a time traveler. This might not.
Is this undeniable proof that time travel exists?
There was recent news on like the most convincing evidence of time travel. What happened? So there was a guy named Sergey. He showed up randomly. He spawned in Kiev. This is in Ukraine. In 2006. But he's actually from like the 1950s. In 2006, when he said he spawned there, he was in all these like old clothes. 1950s clothes, not even 2006 clothes. All he had, his old camera, right? The police were like, this is weird as fuck. You're telling me that you're a time traveler? I need to see pieces of ID. He doesn't have ID. He says, go look at my photos and my camera. They're undeveloped. Police, they develop his camera. All they see, some random girl and him back in Kiev in 1950. It looks like the 1950s. So they're like, wait a minute, who is this girl? Sergey? He's like, yo, this is my girlfriend, but I haven't seen her in so long. So the guy time traveled and left the girl back in the 1950s, supposedly, right? Police, they were like, okay, what's that girl's name? We're gonna track her down. Oh, so they go and look for her. Yeah, they go and look for her. They type in her name, they find her.
Is this undeniable proof that time travel exists?
There was recent news.
This man says he's traveled back in time to save our world, and he's come with proof.
Dang.
November 2nd of the year 2000, a time traveler started posting on a time travel forum, claiming he was a soldier sent back in time from the year 2036 to 1975. He needed to retrieve parts from an IBM 5100 computer system, as this was essential to debug and fix his computer systems in his time that ran time travel technology. This tastes like your mom booty. So good. He went by the name of John Titor. Now you may think this is all.
Now this is scary. There was recent.
This man says he's traveled back in time, and just word of mouth from John. But he came with proof. But he also came with a warning that 3 billion of us would not be living soon, and that we had catastrophic events that would occur. Well, and he explained it all in detail. Now, the first time John reached out was actually a fax sent to a radio host named Art Bell on July 28th, 1998. See, Art Bell was running a radio segment where he wanted to get calls in from time travelers. Most people who called in were just joking, but this fax that he got seemed a little too on the serious side.
I had the fax when I heard other time travelers calling in from any time past the year 2500 AD. Please, time travel was invented in 2034. Offshoots of certain successful fusion reactor research allow scientists at CERN to produce the world's first contained singularity engine. The basic design involved rotating singularities inside a magnetic field. By altering the speed and direction of rotation, you can travel both forward and backwards in time. Time travel could be understood in the terms of connected lines. When you go back in time, you travel to your original timeline. When you turn your singularity engine off, a new timeline is created, due to the fact that you and your time machine are now there. In other words, a new universe is created, and immediately throw the engine into forward without turning it off. Some interesting outcomes of this are: 1. You meet yourself. I've done it often and even taken the younger version of myself along for a few rides before returning myself to the new timeline and going back to mine. 2. You can alter history in the new universe that you have created. Most of the time the changes are subtle. Sometimes I'll notice car models that don't exist or books that come out late. The oldest one was a skyscraper that wasn't built in a near favorite store of mine in New York. Interestingly, when you travel in time, you must compensate for the orbit of Earth. Since the machine doesn't move, you have to adjust the engine so you remain on the planet when you turn it off. Unfortunately, it is also discovered that anyone going forward in time from the year 2036 hit a brick wall in the year 2564. Everyone who has been there has reported that nothing exists. When the machine is turned off, you find yourself surrounded by blackness and silence. Now, most time travelers are trying to find out where the line went bad by going into the past, creating a new universe, and proceeding forward to see if the same thing results in 2564. It appears that the line went bad around the year 2000. I'm here now. I'm in this time. Please pray that we discover the reason why there is no apparent future after 2536.
Art Bell was very surprised and wanted to know more, but didn't hear back that day until a second fax came in days later.
Dear Mr. Bell, I'm glad you're back. I faxed this information to you the day before you left the air. I have been on this world since April of this year, and I plan to leave soon. Typically, time travelers do not purposely affect the world lines they visit. However, this mission is unusually long, and I've grown attached to some of the people that I've met here. Anyways, for my own reason, I've decided to help this world line by sharing information about the future with a few people in the hope that it will help their future. I believe you can change your future by creating one. I realize my claims are difficult to accept, so I will send the following once I know you have received this fax. A few pages from the operations manual of my time machine, and a few colored photographs of my vehicle. If you wish to contact me, I will be happy to share with you the nature of time. Please send a return package to...
Art Bell never heard back again from this guy. But 2 years later, on November 2nd, in the year 2000, someone using the handle timetravel_0 would arrive on the internet, explaining the details of how his time machine worked. And later he'd pop up on Post to Post, Art Bell's time travel forum, and the world would learn about John Titor. Yeah, baby, I like it like that. Ooh. Now, people were like, yo, I don't believe you. Do you have proof? And he actually showed a picture of his time machine and explained how it worked. But just a warning, it's a bunch of nerd mumbo jumbo. That actually makes a lot of sense if you know what scientists say about time travel.
My time machine is a stationary mass temporal displacement unit manufactured by General Electric. The unit is powered by two top-spin dual positive singularities that produce a standard offset Tipler sinusoid.
Titor said his time machine contained dual microsingularities, an electron injection manifold, a cooling and X-ray venting system, gravity sensors, 4 main CCM clocks, and 3 main computer units. All of this was housed in a 1976 Chevrolet Corvette convertible. Okay, cool. He explained how the time machine worked and told you about the parts. But what was his warning of our future? Titor claimed that the American Civil War would begin in 2008, leading to a nuclear exchange in 2015 that would erase 3 billion people. He claimed that after this, Omaha, Nebraska would become the U.S.'s new capital, and that the U.S. would create time travel in the 2030s because of this. He said people who survived the war would become closer together. Life would be centered around community and family. Ooh, this is special sauce I made.
Yeah, that burrito was good.
He said an average day in 2036 is like an average day on a farm.
I live in a community made up of tree houses on a large river in Florida. Most of our neighbors make a living off the sea or in moving cargo by boat.
Before he left, Titor left one message for us in 2001.
Perhaps I should let you in on a little secret. No one likes you in the future. This time period is looked at as being full of lazy, self-centered, civically ignorant sheep.
Now, did any of his predictions come true, or was it just all a hoax? Because clearly, me and you, we're still alive. There was never a civil war in 2008, never a nuclear war in 2015. He did say the future of entertainment would be decentralized and anybody could make entertainment for you. We watch a lot of videos on social media now, and people have the freedom to post it whenever they want. So he was right about that. Oh, and he also said that there would be a mad cow disease breakout, which did happen in the early 2000s. He did say the Olympic Games would be canceled in 2004. That never happened. Stephen Hawking said that whatever entered a black hole would disappear. John Titor said that that wasn't true. A while later, Stephen Hawking took back that initial hypothesis and changed his mind, agreeing with what John said. Now look, I know many people believe this was all one big hoax. just like this big burrito. A lot of them suspected a lawyer out in Florida who was very intelligent of writing and faking the John Titor emails as a big joke. However, there's enough of John Titor's evidence that some people believe that he actually did come back. He actually did save our timeline and changed our future from destruction. But let me know what you think. And make sure you follow, because my next story is insane.
Now this is scary.
This man says he's from year 3.
Okay, it turns out that the CIA has a lot of connections in Hollywood, but you can't connect that to time travel.
Really? Have you seen Ben Affleck's back tattoo?
His terrible back tattoo of a bird or something? What's that have to do with anything?
He's got a full back tattoo of a phoenix. And the Montauk Project was originally the Phoenix Project, which was started after the Philadelphia experiment that was based on Nikola Tesla's work on teleportation. And Ben's never really explained why he has a full back tattoo of a phoenix, other than to say it has a lot of personal meaning to him.
Just because he has a tattoo of a phoenix doesn't mean that he was involved in the Phoenix Project.
Okay, that could be a coincidence. But what about this? This picture taken in 1961 looks a lot like Matt Damon, only Matt Damon wasn't born yet.
Well, yeah, that looks like him, but you can do anything with Photoshop, man.
Okay, but we agree that the CIA has been involved in Hollywood since the beginning of Hollywood and has used actors as undercover operatives. And that the Philadelphia experiment did exist and was the precursor to the Montauk Project, which was Project Phoenix. And there are people that claim to have been involved with the Montauk Project as children and were used as child time traveling operatives. And the funny part is, before they used children, they would grab random homeless people and drunks off the street and just shove them through a time portal to try and perfect their time travel technology, and a lot of them didn't come back.
That would be pretty funny if you were on a bender and passed out and then woke up in the 1500s or something. That'd be pretty hilarious.
And it would kind of explain how archaeologists keep finding artifacts that resemble modern day technology.
Well, maybe, but hold on. If time travel exists, it can't just be the CIA and Donald Trump that have access to it. Other countries have to be experimenting with it too. Can't be that big of a secret.
In the Baron Trump books, they go to Russia to find a portal. Maybe that's how Putin was able to fight in World War I and World War II.
But, why?
I don't know why. I also don't know why Putin gave Trump a soccer ball in 2018.
Yeah, I mean, it's weird, but just because weird things happen doesn't, I'm still not convinced in time travel.
That's fine. Just because you don't believe in something doesn't mean it doesn't exist. But every lie starts with a nugget of truth. I'm just looking for the nuggets.
Okay, it turns out that the CIA has a lot of connections in Hollywood.
Can you walk us through as much as you can?
Definitely believe in sometimes.
Step-by-step process where you have a patient that has AIDS.
You gotta think, man, anything's possible.
XYZ or ABC, and then the patient no longer has AIDS. Can you walk us through that?
Of course. When the first patient was a brother in Boston named Michael White, and a sister, she's from D.C. Her name is, oh boy, I forgot her name right now. But she told me, she said, Dr. Sevi, my brother has AIDS in Boston. Mm-hmm. So what do you do? I said, well, I must send him the compound. The compound that I made were made to cleanse the cells. They come in the category of phosphates, carbonates, iodides, and bromides. Now we are entering the science of biochemistry. These are food and vitalizers. I remove from the man's diet lactose, uric acid, and carbonic acid, milk, starches, and meat. By removing these things from his diet and then cleansing his cells, he began to see recovery in 24 hours. And so it went. They kicked him out of the hospital 2 weeks later. Memorial Hospital in Boston, Dr. Bonanno. Then there was a young man in D.C. Zelma Peterson is her name. Zelma Peterson.
Yeah.
She was the one that introduced me to my second AIDS patient, and from then it was all the way.
Can you walk us through, as much as you can, a step-by-step process where you have a patient that has
Like many Americans, the conventional path involves schooling, education.
These are two reasons why you may see demons in your dreams, and that last reason is going to shock you. You see, the first reason is because the devil is afraid of you. The devil's tactic is to try to attack those that are chosen by God. You see, the second reason is because you may be getting close to your God-given assignment and purpose, and the devil wants to instill fear in you. Oh, but when you put your faith in the one who has overcome evil, and when you read what the word of God says about you, it says he has given you power over all evil. And when you start to walk in that power, you'll start to even realize that you're rebuking these demons in the dream. If you're ready to walk in the power Jesus has given you, comment amen.
So we're eating about 25 times more refined sugar than we were 100 years ago. You know, around 100 pounds per year per person versus about 6 pounds in the 1800s.
When you're fat, all of your body's natural processes, the things humans have been doing for thousands of years, become much harder. Having kids is harder when you're fat. Moving your body is harder when you're fat. Healing wounds and injuries take longer when you're fat. Even just breathing is harder when you're fat. The human body was just not meant to be fat. A body that looks like this isn't gonna function in the same way as a body that looks like this. Simply put, there is nothing healthy or empowering about being fat. No, we shouldn't shame people for being fat, but convincing yourself that you can be healthy at any size is just a flat out lie.
Yeah.
So we're eating about 25 times more refined sugar than we were 100 years.
Being overweight like that is not healthy at all. Gotta be moving, man. Gotta keep it moving.
I'm not a clone. I'm not a clone.
Uh-oh. You talking about you're not a
lot of
clone.
people were saying I was cloned out there.
Just the fact that he even bringing that up, that he's not a clone, shows that he might be
I'm not sure if you guys have seen him accept this award. I'm not saying he is a clone. Take a look and observe for yourself. And you be the judge.
I've been through something. I've been through some things. You know, it's crazy. I couldn't do that 6 months ago. I couldn't actually walk. I'm not a clone. I'm not a clone. I know a lot of people were saying I was cloned out there. Boy, y'all ain't shit. That's a clone. That ain't no goddamn James. That's a clone.
Okay, so let's zoom in and take a look at his hands here. You'll notice when he speaks about cloning, his hands gets real fidgety.
I'm not a clone. I'm not a clone. I know a lot of people were saying I was cloned out there.
Now we can dismiss this as a joke or dismiss this as nothing, but proof is right there. He got real nervous when speaking about cloning. So let's continue.
So it feels good to be here. I cherish every single minute now. It's different. You know, it's different. You know, it's beyond. I wouldn't wish what I went through on my worst enemy, because it's tough.
Excuse me. That was excuse me. That was nasty.
When it's almost over, when you see the tunnel. I saw the tunnel. I didn't see the light. It was hot in that tunnel too. I don't know where I was going. Shit, am I going to the right place? I just seen the devil going, come on, nigga. It's when we were in Chicago and I was trying to get myself together and no one knew where I was. No one knew what was going on. And I had to go to this facility so I could work out a little bit.
Hey, did y'all remember? And they cloned Tyrone. They did show that, y'all. That it was in Chicago when it was cloning all them people.
Me in because I had my face covered.
They cloned Tyrone.
You know, because I didn't, you know, I didn't want nobody to know. And at one point she says, well, baby, I'm going to have to see your face if I'm going to have to sign you in here. Now, I run a tight ship in here, baby. I'm going to have to see your face.
No, black women don't give a shit. They're like, I need to see his face. And I took the mask down and she saw me. She said, Lord, she said, Lord have mercy, Jesus. And I knew that gave me an indication that once I did get out of all of this, I was gonna be all right. But I have a new respect for life. I have a new respect for my art. And I don't want to sound like, oh, this is gonna happen to you and shit, be careful. You know, it's not that. It's just when you realize that it could be over like that, I just gotta, your grandmother used to say, testify. Because as I got out from under what I'm going through, you know, the powers that be, and you know, your grandmother say the devil is busy trying to shape and form my perception, man. Y'all, it's a fantastic journey. It was a fantastic journey.
I don't know, man.
I'm not a clone.
Might be a clone. He said he's not a clone, but we don't know that, you know. He might not be a clone, right? But the way he's like talking, he's saying certain things, it's kind of, you know, giving off that vibe, you know. But we don't know. Who knows, man? He probably not even a clone. Well, he might be. But hey, you be the judge, like he said. You be the judge. It's your opinion, man. Your opinion matters, right? So whatever you feel, you go with that, man. Don't listen to nobody else.
Which represents an angel falling from the waters above, turning it into fallen angel or demon. Now notice how the angelic powers are being released onto Disney.
Got too bright.
Implying that Disney may be influenced by fallen angels. Now notice the subliminal message of the firmament with the rocket. Notice that Disney is being spelled with 3 6s. Now, in this scene, Wendy is telling her mom she doesn't want to grow up. She wants to be a kid forever. Now here comes the fairy. Which fairies are demonic creatures that are depicted as sweet and innocent. However, fairies could kidnap women, children, or men as they saw fit, often at times replacing infants with changelings. In this scene, though, the fairy lifts Wendy up to steal her. Until her brother captures the fairy, breaking the spell magic. Shortly after Peter Pan arrives, she asked him how is he real. She thought he was a story. He replies, why can't I be both? Indicating that the myths about him were true, meaning these fairy tales actually have hidden dark secrets in them. In this scene, Peter is looking for his shadow. Now, a shadow is a reflection, implying that Peter could be a demon or a jinn with angelic powers who target children's souls. The fact that his shadow is running from him hints Peter could be an evil monster in disguise as a boy. In this playback scene, Peter explains how he knows Wendy and her name. She asks, have you been watching me? He says yes sometimes, for he has been listening to her say her name and how she doesn't want to grow up, implying that demons listen to you, study you, and prey on your desires. When she said she didn't want to grow up, he uses her vulnerability and youth to trick her into leaving with him. They go through a portal and through a star in the sky. Now this slow motion wave effect appears as if they hit and are in water. Water separating water, indicating she may be in front of the firmament. Maybe kids with pure hearts are allowed to cross over the firmament, hence why Peter Pan is interested in them. They are flying upwards to the waters above. Now, notice the mermaids, which are angelic beings. Notice the upside-down rainbow, hinting they are in the waters above our world. Notice the star, which represents an angel falling from the water.
I never see that Peter Pan. I'm gonna have to watch that.
You know how the theory goes, Tupac died?
Yeah.
But he's actually alive.
Yeah, he's like in Barbados or something like
yeah,
that.
I didn't know, fam. You know the last picture of Tupac in the car with Suge Knight?
Yeah.
There's no keys in the ignition. What? In the picture, there's no keys in the ignition.
Wait, so what does that...
I'm starting to think that the world is gonna bloody end in 2024. Because it has just been revealed that we can now add The Last of Us Season 2 to the insane list of things releasing in 2025. If we can just make it through one more year in 2025, we'll get GTA 6, which will probably break every single gaming record there is, Stranger Things Season 5, Avatar 3, The Batman 2, Minecraft, the movie, Fantastic Four, a leak hinted that we may get Shrek 5, How to Train Your Dragon, World War 3, Superman Legacy, and now even The Last of Us. I don't trust 2024. I'm starting to think that
The end is coming, man. I don't know about y'all, but I've been hearing a lot of conspiracy theories about 2025. First things first, 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 5 equals 9. And not only is 9 is the highest number, 9 also means completion. So 2025 literally is the year of completion. Like I said, they put it in games and movies, because if you a kid, I know you done played Newtown 2025.
I feel like 2024 is just a trial. You know what I'm saying? A 30-day trial for you to get ready for 2025. It's gonna go down.
If y'all don't know, on Call of Duty, this map is called Newtown 2025. And after every game is over, when you play on this map blows up like an atomic bomb. Trust me when I say that's not no coincidence. Because they even got a zombies version of this map for the aftermath after the atomic bomb blew up and niggas turning into zombies and shit. They're literally showcasing the big solar flare that's gonna happen. Because scientists are saying by 2025, a giant solar storm is gonna hit Earth. And even in Revelations of the Holy Bible, it speaks about the solar flash. Let's read. And the fourth angel poured out a vial upon the sun, and the power was given to him to scorch men with fire. And men were scorched with great heat, and blasphemed the name of God, which hath power over these plagues, and they repented not to give him glory. So either way it go, whether you want to go on the religious side, the regular side, spiritual side, a solar flash is coming. The atomic bomb side, or something coming. Not trying to put fear in niggas, but niggas need to know what's going on. Because the year of the 9, it might have something to do with the 9 ether beings. 9 ether is a term made by Dr. Malachi Z. York to basically define who the gods and goddesses of the earth is. Melanated, black, 9 ether hair type stuff. Here's a little more in depth of what this talking about. As far as your hair follicles, because we the only people with this type of hair. A lot of people believe when this solar flash hit, this the year we gonna get activated. This the year we gonna get the superpower and take back the planet. But they also say if you took the jab and your vibration too low, you ain't turning into nothing but this. A zombie. So I would say work on yourself, keep your vibration high. If you took that jab, try to find metal removers, try to get all that guck out of you. Start sitting in the sun, will sweat and working out. And keep y'all third eye open, man. See y'all later, man.
Yes, sir. Now, today, we have another episode of the Jamie Foxx Show. I mean, honestly.
The Aztecs predict that the world will end.
Man. It's looking promising that the world might just end in 2025.
And in 2025. There is a new discovery in the Amazon rainforest that the government doesn't want you to know. On July 7th, 2023, Henry White set out with a small crew to explore uncharted regions of the Amazon forest. There have been many theories that claimed lost civilizations existed deep within the forests. The crew spent weeks of searching without finding anything, until one day they stumbled upon a lost temple overgrown with shrubbery. The crew decided to climb to the top of the temple, and what they found will shock you. They found a scroll. Written on the scroll in perfect detail was a prediction of the end of the world, images of flying missiles and a lifeless planet. Only one thing was written: 2025. Suddenly the crew was surrounded on all sides. Natives holding bows and spears began pouring out of the forest. The crew was never seen again, but they were able to upload a picture of the scroll to the internet before they were captured. Like and follow for a part 2 of the picture. The Aztecs...
Even though they said that in 2012, this might just be the one, you know? I mean, look where we at right now. The world was already going to crap anyway. Yeah, like, aren't people tired of living like this anyway? I'd rather it just go in and end now, so we can get over with this.
We have an end times alert and something awesome to look out for if you're on the East Coast. First off, I want to say, of course, this is not normal, but we've seen many things not normal in the sky, like Acts 2:19. In this last day, there'll be signs in the sky, vapor, smoke, and fire. Lights,
for the sky to look like that.
Which basically fit right into
Imagine going out and seeing the sky like that.
You're reading this correctly. The northern lights will be viewable from the east coast of the United States. Make sure you're looking out for it, because it's going to be awesome. But it's just an expression of our God, of what's happening right now on the world. And this is just a slight aspect of things happening and that have been happening. You know how the moon just went missing for like a week or two? But remember before that, before the moon went missing, the moon was a full moon for like a week and a half, 2 weeks. Do you remember that? I do. Look at what the Book of Enoch says. The Book of Enoch says the moon will transgress her order and not even appear at her time. But not just that. It says many of the chief stars will also transgress their order and stop appearing to do their tasks they normally do. I mean, have you been seeing all the crazy light columns go up out of nowhere? What is going on? And no, it's not a lens flare. It's happening everywhere. Just columns of light shooting into the sky. And now I made a quick video run through of all the crazy things happening in the sky over the last year. That crazy flare coming out the moon. The sky's been going red everywhere. Do y'all remember this in New York?
Wow. Now that's crazy. Dang, that's crazy.
The two suns.
Is that really two suns?
Everywhere since 2019, 2020.
That's dope. If that's actually two suns, you know.
This was China, I believe.
Wow.
Vapor, smoke, blood.
That is insane.
Look! A chief star maybe altering its time, and then of course
things is changing, man. Things is changing. Things is changing for the better. You feel me? For the better.
Signs are showing themselves. We are at the end, and we're not even getting into the solar flare yet. We'll do that tomorrow.
Exactly. Look at all the stuff that's going on. We're not even at the solar flare yet. That's how you know things about to go down.
Scientists from the Oregon Department of Emergency Management believe that people should prepare for a powerful magnitude 9 earthquake, the most powerful earthquake that can occur on Earth. Such a quake would lead to the destruction of stone buildings and the formation of tsunamis up to 30.5 meters high. Why are scientists concerned? The reason is that researchers have never seen such a phenomenon before. Divers have discovered hundreds of holes that originate from Vancouver, Canada to California, USA. Clusters of these holes have also been found off the coast of Newport, near the state of Oregon. These holes are appearing more and more. They reproduce in groups of 3-4 holes per square meter. Previously, people encountered holes on the ocean floor, but these openings were caused by the activities of crustaceans. Initially, it was assumed that other animals had dug these holes, but this theory was quickly debunked when divers encountered a new wonder. Now, liquid is flowing from the Pacific holes, hitting the surrounding water. On average, the water near these openings is 9 degrees Celsius warmer than in places without them. Geologists and seismologists have joined the investigation. It turns out that these holes are located right at the intersection of the Pacific and North American tectonic plates. The liquid emanating from the holes indicates that the plates are currently in an active phase and are moving toward each other. Consequently, there is less space between the plates, and the pressurized contents are forced out through the holes on the ocean floor. And now the question: did you know that your life is in danger? That immediate actions are needed? to survive. I fear that this truth is much scarier than the threat of a magnitude 9 earthquake. Your life matters to no one but yourself to see the complete picture of what's happening in the world and understand how to protect your life and the lives of your loved ones. You can watch the global crisis, the responsibility.
Y'all see what the fuck going on in Russia? Man, it's 50 below zero. Let's get into this video. I don't know what he's saying, but I'm pretty sure this nigga cold as hell.
There's no such thing as
Wait, y'all see what the fuck going on in Russia? Man, it's 50 below zero. Let's get into this video. I don't know what he's saying, but I'm pretty sure this nigga cold as hell.
Oh man.
Look at this earth.
That's crazy.
God damn. Man, I'm talking about that boy earth finna come out.
That's great.
He better stop before that bitch come out. I'm telling you. This is insane. I'm trying to figure out how the fuck they even living. You hear me?
Yeah. How is he out there?
I just couldn't.
Yeah, I couldn't do that.
When I say somebody playing with their weather machine, man, they over there fucking their ass up, G. Ain't no damn way it should be that goddamn cold to that man, to where that man ears freezing the fuck up like that, G. I'm talking about, bro, I be taking the first flight away. Y'all see what the fuck going on in Russia? Man, it's 50.
Gone out of there. That's too cold, buddy.
There's no such thing as talent. Despite what the world says, it's not about talent, it's about time. See, Kobe Bryant at the age of 2 could dribble a basketball because he was watching game tape and going to practices with his dad. When Tiger Woods was 7 months old, his dad put him in a swing set in the garage and had Tiger watch him hit golf balls into a net. Mozart wasn't no child prodigy. His dad was a famous composer and taught his son music before he could even speak. Talent is not born, it's made. And having a good dad helps. There's no such thing as talent, despite what...
About 50,000 years ago, you couldn't stay on the surface of this planet if you were not black. Because if you were not, and you were exposed to the radiation fields that were here, you would die. It's just that simply. And whole races of people have died off anytime there's what they call a sun reversal. This is why it's been called sons of the sun. People who can live under direct sunlight, which lets off 12 rays from infrared to ultraviolet, and if you can take those rays and not have your inner organs interfered with, not have your brain cells interfered with, not have your reproduction cells interfered with, your immune system interfered with, and more than that, not being able to work through what they call the hypothalamus, part of the brain that has 2 organs up there, 2 glands really, the pineal and the pituitary. Your minor gland would be your pituitary gland. Your basic gland is your pineal gland. Some people call it pineal. I understand it's pine cone shape called pineal gland. The pineal gland is the gland that produces melanin. And wherever you have melanin in your body, you're going to function differently than a person with little or none. And the grade of your melanin will help you to do things that other people can't. And when you're beginning to function with your melanin, then you can begin to adapt to magnetic fields or God fields. Without that, you cannot adapt to all 3. You may adapt to one, the lowest of all.
Hold on, y'all.
It's really the pineal and the pituitary. Your minor gland would be your pituitary gland. Your basic gland is your pineal gland. Some people call it pineal. I understand it's pine cone shape called pineal gland. The pineal gland is the gland that produces melanin. And wherever you have melanin in your body, you're going to function differently than a person with little or none. And the grade of your melanin will help you to do things that other people can't. And when you're beginning to function with your melanin, then you can begin to adapt to magnetic fields or God fields. Without that, you cannot adapt to all 3. You may adapt to one, the lowest of all, electrical fields. That meant that the biggest, strongest, most powerful gland in an operating body that we're now in is of very little usage and possible. In many cases it is, because it calcifies. And it calcifies anytime you expose it to drugs.
Ooh, synthetic
Didn't say
foods.
for herbals. Anytime you expose it to allopathic, pharmaceutical drugs, you're killing and causing a war with your pineal gland. When you use homeopathic and nutraceutical products, herbs, leaves, roots, things that are natural, things that contain sunlight, now it begins to amplify and work correctly. It is the gland that lets you tan, the gland that lets you blacken, the gland that gives you your psychic ability, the gland that produces serotonin by which you can get calm under situations, can sleep at night without taking other drugs. It is the master gland that when something goes wrong in your body, it chemically organizes it, analyzes it, and then sends a direction to the pituitary gland to start mass producing all these various hormones from the various things that we do. It does not like synthetic. I will repeat that once more. It does not like synthetic anything. About 50,000
Synthetic food, synthetic white, synthetic anything. Okay.
Yeah.
That's it.
What you're looking at right here is the aurora borealis, all right? This is the green cosmic energy from our central sun, our black sun, okay? One of the master teachers, Dr. Malachi Z. York, spoke highly of the green Etherian energy that's associated with the spirit of Melchizedek. Melchizedek was viewed as the ancient of days, okay? If anyone that studied the Anunnaki know that they went by many names, and one of them names was the ancient ones. This is the heart chakra, okay? Heart chakra emanates green energy, which is predicated on the love frequency. The loud frequency vibrates at 528 hertz. Sanskrit, they refer to the heart chakra as anahata, all right? It's associated with the air element, all right? Green colored, all right? And the mantra is yam, all right? The heart chakra is imperative that we actually lock into that heart chakra in order to elevate to higher dimensional realms of consciousness. Heart chakra is the fourth chakra. Anyone that knows the supreme mathematics know that the 4 represents freedom. All right. In order for us to accomplish that freedom, that utopia state, we have to be in the heart chakra. This green energy emanating is from the rising of our central sun in Argatha. Since archons can't survive in our low frequency and they can't exist at 528 hertz, what's gonna happen is it's gonna break the matrix. It will break the matrix and the illusion will start crumbling all around you. With the green Etherian energy rising, it's imperative that you actually protect yourself and you have the necessary tools for exploration and ascension. I highly recommend getting yourself some green crystals. One of the crystals that I highly recommend is malachite, and these are available on Holistic Remedies for Ascension. Malachite is a very powerful crystal specimen known for regulating the menstrual cycle and easing cramps. It eases labor pains. It helps with depression. It's a phenomenal crystal, okay? Drawing negative energy out the body, also expelling archons and malevolent entities. Another good choice for the heart chakra is a phantom crystal, known for healing, releasing negative energy, overcoming fear, shadow work, trauma, things of that nature. All right. Once again, these crystals also connect and are associated with the heart chakra. These are also available on Holistic Remedies for Ascension as well. Green amethyst works in conjunction with the crown chakra. Amethyst is phenomenal for connecting with the crown chakra, but because it's green, it actually does work in synergy with the heart chakra as well, which obviously we know love vibrates at 528 hertz. This crystal will expel all malevolent entities and also work phenomenal for astral projection as well as lucid dreaming. The Tree of Life Oregon Pyramid, Organite, for all those that are not familiar with Oregon. Oregon is the energy alchemist. It does convert negative energy into positive energy, and also Organite does expel chemtrails and things of that nature. All right, so if you have Oregon structures outside of your house or inside, it will expel negative effects or adverse effects from chemtrails and things of that nature, and it also works in synergy with the crown chakra, and as well as exposing or expelling all malevolent entities and archonic energy as well. All right, get yourself some Oregon. Even using different things like green lights, little green lights that you may, LED lights and things of that nature will also activate that green Melchizedek Ethereal energy as well, okay? Green, all right? Getting your greens, all right? You see I have green in my crystal right here, all right? That's green aventurine in that crystal as well. And it's phenomenal. It's important that you actually get your green crystal game up. I also carry jasper with me, malachite beads and things of that nature. These are all essential for tapping into that energy of Melchizedek. Peace, love, and light to everyone. What you're looking at right here is the aurora borealis.
I told you guys they love to put it.
And magnetic storms. On November 18th, 2023, there was an M flare on the.
Check this out. So you can.
And magnetic storms. On November 18th, 2023, there was an M flare on the sun, along with a series of C flares. Now we are waiting for the arrival of a coronal mass ejection on our planet. Scientists predict a G1 geomagnetic storm and associated polar auroras. Forecast: X-ray astronomy predicts G1 geomagnetic storms on Earth on November 20th, 22, 24, and 25. However, this is uncertain, as we recall the recent forecast in early November, when scientists predicted a weak magnetic storm, but instead a strong G3 class storm occurred, resulting in unusual red auroras across the entire northern hemisphere. This has had a strong impact on the technicians. For instance, there were disruptions in 2 major banks in Spain. Few places accepted their card. Online payments and transfers failed. This seriously impacted the health of weather-dependent individuals. Even perfectly healthy people complained of malaise, drowsiness, and headache. Now we can only guess how it will be this time. So, we stock up on meds and take care of equipment. Want to know why scientists make more mistakes in their predictions now? On December 2nd, 2023, you'll get a detailed response on the online forum Global Crisis Responsibility. But I can make a spoiler. An independent international scientific group consisting of the smartest scientists of our world has discovered the true cause and solution to the problem of the climate crisis. This will be told on December 2nd. Make sure to join because climate has already become the primary issue of concern for all of humanity around the world. We need everyone's participation, including you, to increase the chances of success. And magnetic storms.
You know, climate change, man. Why are they always trying to say that? The earth is changing. That's just what it is. Indeed. They're trying to use that as an excuse. We need to do this. No. There ain't nothing about to say this butt whooping y'all about to get. Okay? Y'all done treated us all messed up, made us pay for it. Stuff that grew from the ground. That supposed to been free. Are you kidding me?
Check this out. So you can.
Food delivery services boomed during the pandemic. 60% of Americans say they get a meal delivered at least once a week. But did your food delivery really come from the place from which you think you ordered it? As Les Trent reports, it may have come from a ghost kitchen.
Tonight, I'll be eating a club sandwich with fries and a side of mayonnaise. Elton John is doing it.
Tonight, I'll be eating a chicken schnitty with chips and chicken salt.
So is Kim Kardashian. Like these celebs, since the pandemic, more and more Americans are getting their favorite foods delivered via Uber Eats. But is your favorite sandwich or pizza really coming from the actual restaurant you ordered from? It turns out a growing number of restaurants are using what are called ghost kitchens. Sure sounds kind of spooky. So what is going on here? To find out, I started ordering food. A lot of food.
Oh, that's great.
First up, a delicious sub from Jersey Mike's, a national chain with over 2,000 locations.
Grilled right in front of you. It's a Jersey Mike's thing. A sub above.
It sure tasted like it was made in one of their trademark delis, but the address on my Uber Eats receipt shows something totally different. I'm here at the address on my receipt, but this sure doesn't look like a Jersey Mike's. In fact, the only sign of a Jersey Mike's is this small one right here. Inside it says Kitchen United. What the heck? Turns out we found our first ghost kitchen.
They're not having a storefront where they have to have waiters and waitresses. They have to worry about having counter people. They're just using their kitchen. And they're using their kitchen to prepare a lot of different types of name brand food.
Next up, Conviction Chicken.
Everyone knows I'm a huge fan of
Somebody
chicken wings.
says,
I'm from
ghost cook
Buffalo,
my
so
food.
look at this.
Like,
Grilled
what?
wings from Conviction Chicken.
What is that
Ooh,
comment?
we're definitely getting that.
But when my wings showed up,
these are our grilled chicken wings from Conviction Chicken, but wait, what is that? TGI Fridays? We didn't actually order anything from TGI Fridays.
When we returned to the address listed on our conviction chicken receipt, it led me straight here. This is the address for conviction chicken, but as you can see, it's TGI Fridays. Our investigation found over 100 ghost kitchens listed on Uber Eats just in New York City alone.
The biggest problem with ghost kitchens for consumers is there's no transparency. You really don't know who's preparing your food.
All right, team, we need 1 camote, 1 Insta, 2 soul bowls.
But not all ghost kitchens are the same.
We're here at Hungry House, which is a ghost kitchen that works with up-and-coming chefs.
Kristen Barnett gave us a tour of Hungry House, a ghost kitchen where multiple different chefs learn a restaurant's recipes and then cook them up for delivery.
Ghost kitchens have exploded over the last few years, mainly because of consumer preference for delivery.
She says many restaurants are trying to increase their presence online by doing what's known as virtual branding.
It could be upwards of 20 different brands coming out of the same kitchen, just with different names and different branding.
So how do you know who's making what?
Be proactive. Take that extra time to do a little research. Go and visit
How many
the
of y'all
establishment
order
at
off
least once.
Uber Eats and DoorDash?
Food delivery
Let me know in the
services
comments.
boomed during the pandemic.
Wow. Let me know in the comments if that ever happened to y'all, bro. I want to know.
Is a crunch a
That ever
crunch?
happened to y'all?
Or do men and women actually eat Doritos differently? Actor Peter Dinklage sure made a lot of noise eating them in that popular Super Bowl ad. But 24 hours after that triumph, the CEO of PepsiCo said women eat Doritos differently.
They don't like to crunch too loudly in public. And, they don't lick their fingers generously. And they don't like to pour the little broken pieces and the flavor into their mouth.
She also suggested a new Doritos, just for ladies.
It's not a male and female as much as are there snacks for women that can be designed and packaged differently. And yes, we are looking at it and we're getting ready to launch a bunch of them soon. And how can you put it in your purse? Because women love to carry a snack in their purse.
Battle over Doritos.
Sexist.
Inside Edition conducted our own focus group, equally divided, 5 women and 5 men. They each got a bag of Doritos.
So why do you think Lady Doritos are a bad idea?
It's not a Dorito. It makes no sense.
Guess what we found? Surprise! Women and men eat them the same way.
I feel like the crunch is all part of the Doritos and the chips experience.
And the only way to get every morsel is to turn over the bag. And messy fingers? No problem. After the brouhaha, a tweet from Doritos. We already have Doritos for women. They're called Doritos, and they're loved by millions. Is a crunch a crunch? Or do men and women actually...
Am I watching? Nah, that's crazy. Is it crunch?
Very selective about what you watch and what you hear. For the past 50 years, the veil has been thinning, and by the veil, I mean the dimensions. Your eyes perceive the 3D, but we live in a 4D experience. But then there's 5D, there's 6D, there's 7D. Because of the thinning of the veils, there are also holes of permeation
Like a good old
in which
stretch.
demonic spirits can come through. These demonic spirits have always been here. They have been used in ancient occult practices because demons can also help you manifest, although I do not recommend you working with demons. But the thing is, the Western media has been perpetuating the nightclub scene, drugs, alcohol, sex. Very, very dense energies. Do you know why they're promoting that through music and through movies? Hence why I said be careful what you listen to and what you watch. Because they're harvesting your energy. Everything is energy, everything is vibration and frequency. Your subconscious mind is very, very powerful. If you keep watching certain things or you keep listening to certain things, those frequencies, those vibrations, because light is also that, will affect you. I mean, this is my third time referencing this, but the whole Doja Cat Demons video, she literally puts it in your face that this is what they're all about now. They care about money, attention. She literally has a song called Attention, where she keeps singing, give me affection, give me attention. These demons want you to give attention to them because they feed off of your energy. Demons also attach to your imbalanced chakras. So when your chakras are all balanced and they're healthy, you'll seldom ever get a demonic attachment. But if they're imbalanced, that is how you allow them to come in. And one of their favorite chakras to attach to
Root.
is your root,
Mhm.
then the solar and the sacral. But they prefer your root. Your root is your sexual energy, which is why the media promotes sexual stuff, but not in a healthy way. It is not in a divine, holy way. It is in excess, and it's often obscure and weird. Not to shame anybody's, preferences, but there are some things that are just, normal people shouldn't be liking stuff like that. When you listen to pop culture music continuously and you don't have discernment or you don't have a good spiritual filter, you allow these entities to kind of knock on your door. Now you have to be the one to open it, but they shouldn't be knocking on your door in the first place. Now you might be asking, why is the veil thinning? Why are the demons feeding off of us when they could be feeding off of others? And what do these demons really want? Well, these demons come from a place called Phantom Matrix. Now, I'm not the first person to talk about Phantom Matrix. I actually credit this to Ashayana Dean. She's an amazing spiritual teacher, and through my spiritual journey, everything I have experienced personally, she has said. So I know what she's talking about is true because we have the same experience. Phantom Matrix is an artificial matrix plugged into our worlds where these demons, fallen angels, negative alien races they reside in, and they feed off of our system. It is a black hole system. There used to be a strong veil, but now that veil is thinning and everything is permeating in. So if you are spiritual and you're sensitive to energy, please have discernment. Stop listening to pop culture music. Stop watching Hollywood movies. And if you must, you have to have strong spiritual boundaries. And if you want to learn more about Phantom Matrix, fallen angels, demons, how we got into this matrix, I have written a book. My book is titled Made in God's Image. You can find it linked to my bio. I talk about things there on the book that I can't say on TikTok because it gets too close to the truth. If you are spiritual, now is the time.
Drop her a follow.
You should never.
Sexual encounters in dreams are one of the most common things millions of people around the world.
If you're seeing this on or before.
Outer space is a made-up fairy tale. The Earth is actually flat, and we live under a dome, which is God's firmament. The sun, the moon, and the stars are within this firmament, and on this other side of the firmament is water. We're in Genesis chapter 1, verse 7, and God made the firmament and divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament, and it was so. And the Hebrew word for firmament is rakia, extended surface, solid expanse, the vault of heaven or firmament regarded by the Hebrews as solid and supporting the waters above it. Now this is how the Hebrews depicted the universe. Not to mention, this is how every ancient culture depicted the universe. And NASA came along saying that we live on a spinning water ball. The reason they put this heliocentric model together was to take you away from God. They want you to believe that you are just some small speck of dust traveling through a space vacuum on a ball spinning that was created from a Big Bang 13 billion years ago. I'm just here to tell you that God's word is true. You are special. You are created in His image. Once again, this space is fake. The only thing that's been to space is your imagination. But if you're not already following me, follow me so you never miss a video. And like always, God bless.
The Black Knight satellite, which is this object that's still orbiting our planet today, that's on nasa.gov. It's listed as space junk. It weighs approximately an estimated 15 tons by them, not by me. And nobody will touch this thing because they don't know what it's doing. But over the years, people have picked up a signal from this, including Nikola Tesla, ancient Sumerian tablets. And Lil, he talks about the fact that he has this tablet, this crystal tablet that can see anything on any part of the world at any given time. That means he's got something connected to a satellite that's orbiting the planet. And so I connect that to the Black Knight satellite, but the signal has been deciphered by not only ham radio operators, but also an astronomer who wrote an article about it in Time magazine in 1960, and more recently an NSA declassified document which talks about this signal. Then it points to Boötes constellation. The ham radio operators in the 1950s, it points to Boötes constellation. The astronomer in 1960, Boötes constellation. What's interesting is you got 4 different sources coming up with the same exact location that this thing is sending or receiving some type of information from a constellation owned by a Sumerian god who says he has an all-seeing eye. I think that that Black Knight satellite, or that object that's up there, is super ancient. It dates back to where Boötes was in the sky about 13,000 years ago. So it could be at least 13,000 years old based on star alignments. And it could be transmitting in real time updates on what's going on this planet with this abandoned seed colony we call Earth. The Black...
No, flip.
My last. No,
999 flip is 666. 999 represents taking whatever hell, whatever negative situation you're in, turning it into something positive, using it to push yourself forward.
My last video I explained everything that was going to happen in this world and what is to come. Now I'm about to play a video that you must watch and hear this woman about to say, because it's serious and it's real. You better wake up and smell the coffee, because everything that you see going on in this world and everything that's happening is setting you up for one world order.
Neck, you can feel the breath on the back of your neck. It's literally right here. And not only that, but January 1st, we have BRICS goes into effect on January 1st. And that is the 10 nations. And I know that 6 joined in August, not 5, but the UAE is not a nation. It's a federation of 7 emirates. Is that our 7-headed beast with the 10 horns? BRICS, the 7-headed beast, UAE, 10 horns, the 10 nations. Out of there comes forth the 11th, the little horn, the Antichrist. Are we not right here on the edge of the cliff? I mean, like, this is crazy and exciting at the same time. So anyways, I'm going to put the link on here. Do your best to try to copy it. I'm going to be listening to this all day live, every single day, from today all the way through till December 12th. Excuse me. I'm going to be listening to this live and just playing it even in the background as I work and do things around the house. I think this is something we need to listen to. And I think the most disheartening thing, and the reason why people don't know what's going on, is because the mainstream media, well, they do not cover it. They'll never cover it. They didn't even cover the UN summit. So this is why people don't know what's going on. If they put this up on the mainstream news, people everywhere would be in shock and alarmed, because there's a multitude of people that have absolutely no idea what is coming and what is on the horizon.
Yup.
Okay, so go and listen to this.
Yup.
I also did hear at the WEF forum
UN Summit on
in May
YouTube.
of this year.
Type it.
In Geneva, former Congresswoman Michelle Bachmann
A lot of people
said
don't know.
that their CBDCs will be implemented by May in their digital ID.
Yep.
May of 2024. I don't know, man. Yep. We are in a very imperative time to know the Lord.
Yeah, you
All
better get right.
So
Serious.
listen, share this video everywhere.
telling
Share
you,
the
not
link
just me.
everywhere. Get it out there so people.
And I'm doing exactly what she said. The reason why everything is like.
All right, y'all, that's gonna do it for today's video. We did 2 hours worth of creepy, strange TikToks, man. So that's gonna do it for today's video. I'm sending peace, abundance, prosperity, and good health your way. Until next time, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.